A fall in oil prices, that's always been a major concern for Saudi Arabia. For long, Saudis have blamed US-based short sellers.
In a surprise move, the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries has announced major cuts in production.
Our next story is from Saudi Arabia. It is buying diesel from Russia and in very large quantities. And yes, you heard it right. Oil giant Saudi Arabia is buying diesel from Russia for domestic consumption.
Producing countries, including Saudi Arabia and Russia, have agreed to cut oil production by 2 million barrels a day.
The objective behind the cuts is clear. OPEC Plus wants the prices to rise. And there is one superpower that is going to feel the pinch more than the rest.
President Biden says there will be consequences for Saudi Arabia.
Chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee vows to block all future weapons sales to Saudi Arabia.
Tensions between Saudi Arabia and Russia are escalating ahead of a crucial OPEC Plus meeting. Riyadh is becoming increasingly frustrated with Russia, as it appears that Russia has not fulfilled its commitment to reduce oil production as agreed upon. Although Russia claims to be cutting output as planned, analysts remain skeptical. This Saudi frustration is understandable because not only is the kingdom losing market share in the crucial oil importing region of Asia, but its own production cuts of 500,000 barrels per day, BPD, have failed to raise oil prices. With the OPEC Plus meeting approaching on June 4, Saudi Arabia and Russia, the leading producers in the group, are at odds over output policies. Saudi Arabia has expressed its frustration with Russia and has urged Russian officials to stick to their promise of reducing oil production by 500,000 BPD until the end of the year, according to sources familiar with the matter. Russia maintains that it is cutting output as planned, but doubts remain among analysts. Since Moscow has stopped providing official reports on its production levels, the market relies on tanker tracking data. This data suggests that even if Russia is adhering to its commitment to reduce output, its oil supply to international markets, particularly in key Asian markets like China and India, is increasing. Russia has been aggressively expanding its market share in these top importers and is now the leading supplier to both countries, surpassing Saudi Arabia and Iraq combined. Recent shipping data analysis by Bloomberg indicates that oil shipments from Russia have not decreased in recent months, despite the pledged 500,000 BPD production cut starting in March. Instead, Russian crude oil exports by sea are actually rising. The 4-week average volume of exports reached its highest level since Bloomberg began closely monitoring Russian crude shipments in early 2022. Although Russia has declared that the 500,000 BP cuts will continue until the end of 2023, the recent crude oil export data does not reflect any reductions. The International Energy Agency, IA, has stated that Russia has so far failed to deliver the promised cuts and may even be seeking to increase output to compensate for lost revenues. The IA's oil market report revealed that Russian crude oil and oil product exports remain resilient, reaching their highest level since the invasion of Ukraine. This situation is causing frustration for Saudi Arabia, as it not only loses market share in Asia, the most significant oil importing region, but its own production cuts of 500,000 BPD have failed to raise oil prices. Oil prices are currently at similar levels to before the surprise OPEC Plus cuts were announced in April. On the other hand, for Russia, it is beneficial to supply growing volumes to the top 2 importers in Asia, especially since these countries do not adhere to the G7 price cap on Russian crude oil. Additionally, Russian President Vladimir Putin recently stated that energy prices were approaching economically justified levels, indicating Russia's satisfaction with current prices and production quotas. This further exacerbates the divide between Saudi Arabia and Russia within the OPEC Plus group, as Saudi Arabia requires oil prices above $80 per barrel to balance its budget this year. Economic advisors have privately informed the Saudi rulers that the kingdom needs high oil prices over the next 5 years to support its ambitious development projects, including the NEOM project, which has an estimated cost of $500 billion. As tensions rise, Saudi Arabia's energy minister, Prince Abdulaziz bin Salman, has warned traders against shorting oil futures, recalling the surprise production cut announced by OPEC Plus in April. Analysts suggest that these comments should not be ignored, as unilateral action may not have the same impact as a collective production cut. Overall, the growing tensions between Saudi Arabia and Russia stem from Russia's perceived failure to fulfill its commitment to reduce oil production, which is hindering Saudi Arabia's efforts to raise oil prices and maintain its market share. The disagreement between the two countries poses a challenge for the upcoming OPEC Plus meeting, as consensus on output policies will be crucial for stabilizing the oil market. Saudi Arabia's frustration with Russia is rooted in its concern over losing market share in Asia, particularly in countries like China and India, where Russia has become the dominant supplier. The kingdom's own production cuts have not been sufficient to lift oil prices, and it needs higher prices to support its economic goals and development projects. On the other hand, Russia seems content with the current oil prices and production quotas, indicating a difference in priorities between the two nations. This divide further complicates the decision-making process within the OPEC Plus group, as Saudi Arabia seeks to find a balance between its own interests and the collective interests of the member countries. The upcoming OPEC Plus meeting will play a significant role in determining the future course of oil production and its impact on prices. Saudi Arabia will likely continue to push for strict adherence to production cuts, while Russia may prefer maintaining current levels or even increasing production to maximize revenues. The outcome of the meeting will not only affect the relationship between Saudi Arabia and Russia, but also have implications for the global oil market. The decisions made by OPEC Plus will determine the supply and demand dynamics, which in turn will influence oil prices and the economic stability of oil-producing nations. As the meeting approaches, the tension between Saudi Arabia and Russia underscores the challenges faced by OPEC Plus in maintaining unity and effectively managing oil production levels. The outcome will be closely watched by market participants and analysts, as it will shape the trajectory of oil prices and have far-reaching consequences for the energy industry and global economy. What do you think will be the outcome of the upcoming OPEC Plus meeting in light of the growing tensions between Saudi Arabia and Russia, and how might it impact global oil prices and the energy industry as a whole? We would love to hear your thoughts, so please leave a comment below and let us know what you think. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel for more content like this. And don't forget to hit the notification bell to be notified when we upload new videos. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.